Welcome to Soothing Science Sleep. Imagine lying in bed as the gentle rhythm of ocean waves washes away your day. Soft, endless, calming. Tonight, let the serene secrets of the deep ocean quiet your mind. Relax every muscle and carry you peacefully into the deepest sleep. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and drift with me into the tranquil blue. The ocean began before memory, before wind, before even the idea of silence existed. In the early hours of Earth, when continents were still molten and mountains were nothing but rising thoughts, water gathered slowly in the youngest hollows of the world. It did not arrive with thunder, but with whispering steam, drifting clouds and rain that fell for centuries in gentle grey curtains. Ocean was not born loudly. It collected itself, drop by drop, breath by breath, a cradle forming for life that had not yet begun. When the rain touched cooling stone, it hissed softly, not in pain, but like a tired planet exhaling. The water pooled, shivered, and settled, and the first sea appeared, shallow at first, like an idea learning how to exist. Then it grew wider, deeper, calmer. It learned to hold the sky, it learned to reflect the moon, it learned to breathe with the earth. The ocean became the planet's first memory. It spread across the crust, not conquering, but embracing. It filled the cracks of the world like understanding fills quiet rooms. Even now, when you stand at a shore and look out, you are seeing time itself. An ancient thing that does not age, only changes shape. Scientists say life began here in this softness. Tiny cells, invisible, drifting like newborn thoughts. They gathered near underwater warmth, hydrothermal vents, the planet's ancient heartbeats. In the dark, without sunlight, something glowed, something divided, something lived. And from that gentle spark came everything. Fins and feathers, forests and lungs, hearts and dreams. The ocean was the first mother, and every living thing carries a trace of her inside. Even our blood remembers her. Salt runs through us like tide water. The ocean is often described as loud, storms, crashing waves, roar and surf. But that is only its voice. Its soul is quieter. Under the surface, beneath the foam, beyond the reach of wind, the water is calm. A world moving at the pace of thought. Light filters down in silver beams like falling feathers. Fish drift as if gravity is only a rumor. Sand on the seafloor lies undisturbed for centuries. Here, silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of peace. When waves reach the shore, they seem like an ending. But they are not endings. They are returns. Every wave that touches land has traveled thousands of miles. It has crossed storms, passed islands, brushed against whales, carried plankton and starlight. And when it meets the beach, it lays down its journey like a story finally told. The shore does not interrupt the wave, it welcomes it home. The ocean teaches a lesson simply by being. Everything moves, everything returns, everything continues. Above it, clouds gather like thoughts not yet spoken. They drift, trade places with wind, vanish, and return again. Rain falls back into the sea as if sky and ocean are passing secrets to one another. Evaporation is not escape. It is memory rising. Condensation is not loss. It is memory returning. The planet inhales. The tide rises. The planet exhales. The tide falls. This is the rhythm of existence. To stand before the ocean is to stand before something ancient enough to know you without introduction. It sees not your age, but your weight, what you carry. The waves do not erase footprints to forget you. They erase them so you may begin again. is the ocean's kindness. It does not hold you to your past. At night, when moonlight rests on the water like a silver hand, the ocean glows with borrowed light. The horizon fades. The line between sea and sky softens. It becomes impossible to tell where one ends and the other begins. In that moment, the world feels like a single thought, still forming, still choosing what to be. And somewhere, miles below, in cold darkness beneath pressure strong enough to collapse steel, life continues. Not frantically, softly. Creatures glow blue and green like stars learning how to swim. They pulse with bioluminescent breath, not fighting the dark, but belonging to it. There is no fear there, only continuation. The ocean has always known. Light does not need to be bright to matter. Life does not need to be loud to endure. Change does not need to be violent to be real. Some say the ocean is dangerous, but it is not danger. It is depth. It is the reminder that some things are too vast to fully understand and too gentle to ever stop trying. The surface of the ocean is the place where light first greets the water. Here, sunlight slips through the waves like golden fingertips, scattering into ripples of brightness. This upper layer, the sunlit zone, feels like the ocean breathing in. Wind brushes the surface gently, never quite touching the depths below, the way a passing thought brushes the mind without changing the soul. From above, the surface looks simple, just water, glimmer, and sky. But beneath that shimmering skin exists a world so full of life that it feels like the heartbeat of the earth. Tiny organisms float like dust motes in sunlight. Plankton drift in quiet swarms, each particle smaller than a raindrop, yet together producing more oxygen than all the rainforests combined. They work silently, turning sunlight into breath, sustaining worlds they will never see. Up here, fish move like brushstrokes on a living canvas. Silver schools turn as one body, shimmering like liquid mirrors, scattered light gliding in formation. They do not rush, they react to current, to shadow, to each other. A collective mind without words, a choreography without practice, a dance older than memory. Somewhere near the surface, dolphins break the line between worlds. They rise from blue silence into open air, inhale and dive back down. Translators between water and sky. They carry intelligence like a lantern, not to illuminate, but to understand. Their clicks and whistles ripple through the currents, like stories shared across distance. They sleep with half a brain awake, one eye open to the world, one eye dreaming. Their rest is not escape, but balance. Sea turtles glide through this layer like old travelers who no longer rush. Their path is not a straight line. It is a memory of oceans they crossed before they were born. Guided by magnetism, by instinct, by something like faith, they navigate thousands of miles to return to the same shores. Not because they must, but because something within them remembers. They are proof that the ocean keeps its promises. Above, seabirds cut across the sky. Beneath, flying fish break the surface, fins becoming wings for a heartbeat. They do not fly to escape the sea, but to borrow possibility. For a moment, they taste a world with no water, then fall gently back into the only home they trust. And yet, even in this peaceful brightness, the surface is not always calm. Storms gather without warning. The air darkens. Wind becomes voice. Waves rise like memory made physical, and the line between sea and sky shatters. On the surface, chaos speaks loudly, but under the storm just a few meters below, everything softens again. The water forgets the wind as soon as it passes. This is the ocean's quiet wisdom. Even violence has boundaries. Currents move unseen, but their presence is everywhere. They carry warmth from the equator, like gentle offerings to colder shores. They guide fish migrations, shape weather, steady climates. They are the invisible handwriting of the earth. No hand controls them. They follow a rhythm older than continents. When sunlight filters into the water, it creates a gradient of existence. In the first meter, colors bloom, reds, oranges, yellows, bright as coral breath. A few meters deeper, reds fade first. They cannot travel far. Orange dissolves, yellow dims into memory. Blue remains. It always remains. Blue is the last color to survive the journey downward, so the ocean wears it like a birthright. Near coral reefs, life arranges itself with quiet precision. Tiny fish hide in branching coral like children behind pillars. Anemones cradle clownfish, stinging everything but the ones they protect. It is a language of chemicals and trust, an agreement without words. Reefs are cities built by creatures the size of grains, layer by layer, molecule by molecule, until they form structures visible from space. Soft builders, making colossal worlds. Here, the water tastes of salt, yes, but also of memory. This is where the ocean meets us. This is where we swim, where we float, where we let the world above fade into muffled echoes. When ears slip underwater, sound changes. It becomes rounded, soft, far away. The ocean edits the noise of life, returning everything to its simplest shape. Many come to the shoreline to forget, but the ocean does not erase. It absorbs. It carries what we cannot hold: grief, confusion, questions without answers, and distributes them across miles of horizon until the weight dissolves. Not gone, just lighter. There are moments floating near the surface when body and water become indistinguishable. The heartbeat slows, the limbs loosen, the mind quiets. In that stillness, the ocean does what the world above often forgets to do. It waits. It lets us arrive at ourselves gently. Sunlight dances on wave tops in a rhythm that never repeats. No two sparkles are the same. No two ripples share a destiny. Even on calm days, the surface is never still. It is always becoming. And in that endless becoming, there is peace. Fish rise to feed, birds dive to catch, turtles ascend to breathe, whales surface to sing. And the world continues. Life here is not frantic. It is cyclical. Everything moves according to its need, not its hurry. The surface is a reminder that existence can be full without being loud. If the deep ocean is a cathedral, the surface is a prayer. Soft, repeated, carried by breath. There is a boundary in the sea where sunlight begins to fade. It is not a line drawn sharply, but a gradual surrender. The surface world gives up its brightness, piece by piece, like a memory dissolving. This region is called the twilight zone, the dim stretch between day and night, where light still exists, but only as a ghost of itself. Here, the sea turns from turquoise to cobalt, from cobalt to ink. Reds disappear first, devoured by water. Oranges fold into shadow. Even yellows cannot survive for long. Only blue endures, stretching downward like a promise. In this realm, colors are not lost. They are quieted. The ocean becomes a library of fading hues. This zone begins around 100 meters down, shallow enough for sunbeams to still reach, deep enough for them to break apart into threads. Each thread separates, like strands of silk, bending under pressure. This is where the world starts to whisper, where light learns to disappear. In the twilight zone, shapes blur into outlines. Schools of fish become silver commas drifting through sentence-like currents. Jellyfish move like punctuation marks in motion, commas, semicolons, ellipses, pauses in the ocean's story. They glow faintly, sapphire and lavender pulses in the darkening blue. Their bodies are nearly transparent, their edges seem unfinished, like sketches. Life here does not rush. There is time. There is always time. A fish passing through might have never seen the surface, never tasted full sunlight. To it, brightness would be myth, a story carried down through currents like folklore, a rumor of a world where light is not rationed. And yet, it survives without envy. In the twilight zone, acceptance is a kind of wisdom. Predators patrol slowly. They do not chase. They appear. Forms glide out of darkness like ideas forming in the mind. A shark here is quieter than its legend. No frenzy, no violence, just presence. Like a question you haven't decided to answer yet. Life adapts to less eyes, grow larger in this region, enormous, rounded, drinking in what little light remains. Pupils stretch wide like eclipses. Bodies harden or soften depending on pressure, depending on need. Some fish carry their own glow like lanterns. Some use shadow instead of speed. Some vanish entirely, letting the dark camouflage them. Survival is not a struggle here. It is an agreement. The twilight zone is a threshold, a between knowing and not knowing, between seeing and feeling, between the familiar and the unfathomable. To descend is to let go of control, of orientation, of gravity's old rules. A human entering this depth would feel the shift immediately. The pressure tightens gently at first, a hand placed softly on the chest. Then the hand becomes firmer, not cruel, just certain. The water reminds you that this world does not belong to lungs. Down here, you realize breathing is a privilege of the surface. Fading into the midnight zone. Below 1,000 meters, the twilight zone dissolves completely. The ocean becomes a place where sunlight has no memory. This is the midnight zone, the eternal dark. It is not empty. It is not silent. It is not dead. It is simply honest. Here, the pressure is immense, like the weight of mountains stacked on your body. Yet life persists. Not defiantly, but gracefully. Creatures move slowly to save energy. Their bodies are efficient, precise. They waste nothing. They are masterpieces of adaptation. Bioluminescent sparks drift like constellations in water. It feels less like being underwater and more like sinking into space. Not falling, floating downward. The midnight zone has stars too. They just happen to swim. Tiny organisms flicker with emerald glows. A comb jelly ripples rainbow prisms across its body like sound waves turned visible. Anglerfish dangle lures of pale blue light, patient hunters disguised as beacons. They do not chase prey, they invite it. Light becomes bait, a quiet trap in a quiet world. In the midnight zone, light is not common. It is currency. Silence with a pulse. Sound travels farther in deep water. A whisper here could drift for miles. A whale song could cross oceans like a message in a dream. The midnight zone is a cathedral of resonance. It is silence with structure, acoustics shaped by pressure, by darkness, by distance. If you were here, suspended in the dark, you would hear things without knowing where they came from. Echoes without origin, questions without mouths. The ocean speaks in ways the air never could. The darkness is not hostile. It simply does not accommodate illusions. Up above, the world is crowded with symbols and noise, day, identity, comparison, performance. Down here, everything is stripped to essence. Fish swim, light glows, life continues. There is no metaphor, no ambition, no rush, only being. A depth without fear. People often assume fear belongs here, but fear is a surface instinct, a response to the unknown, where death feels closer than life. Down here, there is no unknown to anticipate, just reality. The creatures do not fear the dark. They are composed of it. They are not hiding from the world. They are part of the world the surface has never met. Humans fear what they cannot see. But the ocean does not need eyes to understand itself. It knows through pressure, through chemistry, through electric fields, through the language of currents. What if fear is just what light calls darkness before it learns the truth? The descent continues. Deeper still, the midnight zone folds into trenches. Vast canyons deeper than the height of Everest, inverted. The Mariana Trench, the Tonga Trench, the Kermadec, places where the earth splits open. Down there, the ocean floor is not a bottom. It is a continuation. The deepest fish ever seen swims at crushing pressure calmly, as if gravity doubled means nothing. Its body is soft, not weak, flexible enough to endure what rigid things cannot. Strength here is not hardness. It is yield. Life survives by bending, not breaking. And so the midnight zone teaches a final lesson. There is a light in the ocean that does not come from the sun. It does not burn. It does not blind. It glows, softly, quietly, from within. This light is called bioluminescence, a natural radiance made by living things. It is the language of the deep, a script of sparks and pulses that writes itself across darkness like stars rearranging midnight. Where sunlight cannot reach, life makes its own dawn. It is not a defiance of darkness. It is a partnership with it. Down here, organisms do not wait for light to find them. They generate it. They mix chemicals like whispers, luciferin and luciferase blending like a memory being written. A reaction begins. A glow forms. Blue, green, sapphire, teal, the palette of the abyss. The dark is not empty. The dark is illuminated from the inside out. It begins with tiny flickers. Plankton, drifting near the surface, bloom into neon storms when waves disturb them. Every crest becomes a ribbon of electric blue, as if the ocean is exhaling galaxies. Surfers move through glowing water like figures made of starlight. Footsteps at the shore leave trails of luminescent footprints, as if night itself is remembering the path. This is not magic, but it feels like it. At night, boats carve glowing paths behind them, propellers stirring constellations into motion. The wake becomes a comet tail. The water remembers every movement with light. Bioluminescence is memory made visible. In the deep, light is not merely seen, it is used. Some creatures glow to communicate. Some glow to distract. Some glow to hunt. Some glow to survive. A comb jelly pulses with rainbow waves across its body, like colour rippling across a stringed instrument. It is not emitting light, it is refracting it, breaking it into shimmering fragments like stained glass underwater. An anglerfish hangs a lantern from its head, pale blue and eerily calm. It waits, unmoving, while smaller creatures drift toward the promise of light. There is no chase, no violence, no struggle, just patience. The light lures, darkness finishes. This is hunting as a kind of stillness. The stoplight loose-jaw fish flashes red, a colour invisible in the deep. Most animals cannot see red light this far down. To them, the beam is darkness, but to the loose-jaw, it is a spotlight, revealing prey that cannot see it coming. The fish becomes an assassin with an invisible torch. Light becomes a secret. Humans speak with words. Whales speak with resonance. Sharks speak with motion. But here, creatures speak with light. A squid sends signals through ripples of brightness travelling across its skin, patterns like sentences. A wave of green means follow. A pulse of blue means danger. A strobe means away. Some even use light to court one another, glowing lanterns as invitations, pulses like love letters exchanged across currents. In these depths, communication is not heard, it is seen. If you drifted here, suspended, weightless, you might mistake the scene for a sky flipped upside down. Every flicker, a star, every glow, a constellation. But unlike stars, these lights move with intention. They choose, and nothing about them is frantic. Everything is measured. Everything is calm. The jellyfish do not rush. They pulse. Their bodies expand and contract like slow breathing. They are not moving to a destination. They are existing through motion. Their glow seems to come from their heartbeat, though they have none. Light here feels alive, the way a soul feels alive. Most deep-sea bioluminescent light is blue, not by accident, by purpose. Blue travels farthest through water. Blue wastes the least energy. Blue is the color the ocean accepts most easily. Red is too greedy. Yellow fades. Green stays close. But blue continues. It is the last color to vanish as you descend. The last memory of the surface. The final ambassador of sunlight. Perhaps that is why bioluminescent creatures choose it, not to mimic the sun. There are giants in the ocean, not monsters, not legends. Beings of immense presence, moving through water with a quiet certainty that makes the world above feel rushed, unfinished, too loud. They do not dominate the ocean, they belong to it. They are reminders that size and gentleness can share the same body. These giants travel through blue corridors older than human civilization. They cross basins and hemispheres, following routes engraved into their instincts like maps made of memory. And while the world above changes, cities rise, borders shift, empires fall, the giants continue their pilgrimage, unbothered by time. The surface world measures life in achievements. The ocean measures life in continuation. The blue whale is the largest animal that has ever lived, larger than dinosaurs, larger than anything imagination drew before science confirmed it. Yet it speaks softly. When it rises to breathe, the ocean does not roar. It sighs. A plume rises like steam from a hot spring, drifting into sky like a secret. Beneath the surface, its vast body glides with the slowness of a planet turning. It is too large for haste. Its heart beats only a few times per minute. Slow, certain, unhurried. A rhythm that matches the pulse of tides. If you placed your ear to its chest, in some impossible dream, the sound would not be a heartbeat. It would be the echo of tectonic plates shifting, the drum of history, the weight of continents remembered. When blue whales sing, their voices travel across thousands of miles. The notes fall below human hearing, vibrating through water like the ocean speaking in its sleep. Other whales answer, not immediately, but eventually. As if conversation does not require proximity, only presence. Their dialogue is not about speed, it is about belonging. Sperm whales descend more than a mile into the water, calmly, as if gravity reverses for them. They vanish into the midnight zone, where light is a foreign word and pressure could crush a human in moments. Down there, they hunt giant squid, the way mountains wrestle storms, in silence, without witnesses. Their heads hold the largest brain of any creature on Earth. Their clicks and pulses shape a language we have not decoded. It is not noise, it is architecture. Some researchers believe sperm whales might speak in patterns, like mathematics softened into emotion. Even if we never translate it, the knowledge does not diminish. Language does not require us in order to exist. When they return to the surface, they rest vertically in the water, suspended like pillars between worlds. Half asleep, half awake, they drift. It looks like prayer. Maybe it is. Few have seen the giant squid alive in the open ocean. It does not seek mystery. Mystery is a byproduct of its existence. With eyes the size of dinner plates, it sees more of the dark than light ever will. Its limbs stretch like questions across the water, each motion an essay on fluid physics. It does not thrash. It does not rage. It moves like silk caught in a current. In childhood stories, squid are monsters. In reality, they are ghosts, present but not intrusive. They rise only when necessary, to hunt, to drift, to exist. And if a sperm whale challenges them in the dark, their battle is not war, it is ecosystem. One life ending so that another may continue. Not cruelty. Continuation. The ocean does not moralize, it circulates. Sharks have been here longer than trees, longer than mountains. 400 million years of movement. People fear their teeth, but their essence is not brutality. It is design, perfected not in speed, but consistency. Their bodies cut through water with no wasted motion. They are the geometry of survival. Their eyes do not threaten, they observe. Their swims do not chase, they follow currents of intent. A shark is not concerned with reputation. It does not know it is feared. It simply is. The ocean does not choose favorites. It allows what works to remain. Sea turtles are ancient pilgrims. They cross entire oceans guided by magnetism, by stars they cannot see, by instincts older than memory. For decades they vanish into the blue, no borders, no anchors, only path. Then one day they return to the beach of their birth. Not a beach like it, the beach itself. How does a creature remember a shoreline it has never seen in adulthood? Not through thought, through knowing. They lay their eggs in sand warmed by moonlight, bury future generations gently, then slip back into the sea like a farewell whispered rather than spoken. Their journey is not heroic, it is inevitable. Manta rays glide as though the ocean is air. Their wings, spanning 20 feet, do not beat. They sweep. They are birds in a sky of water, dancers in an amphitheater of currents. They move with elegance that does not demand attention. If grace had mass, it would look like this. Filters in their mouths catch plankton, tiny drifting galaxies of life. They do not chase their food, they collect it. Hunger without violence, sustenance without struggle. There is gentleness in their enormity. For all their size, these creatures do not try to dominate space, they inhabit it. The ocean does not reward aggression, it rewards adaptation. The whales sing, the squid vanish, the sharks continue, the turtles return, the mantas glide. Different lives, same ocean. None of them ask to be understood. They ask only to be allowed. Humans often describe these creatures as majestic, powerful, terrifying, magnificent. But those are surface words, emotional waves. The truth beneath is simpler. They exist, completely, unapologetically, naturally. Maybe that is why we look at them with awe. Not because they are large, but because they remind us of something we lost, the ability to just be. The giants of the sea do not rush, they do not compare, they do not strive. They move through the ocean the way a thought moves through a calm mind, slowly, without resistance, leaving no wake. This is their kingdom, and they rule it without ruling at all. Underwater forests. There are forests beneath the sea, not made of wood, not grown from soil. Yet forests all the same, places where life gathers, shelters, feeds and becomes. If you sank gently into the quiet water and drifted downward, you would find them. Jungles of coral, towers of kelp, meadows of seagrass and mangrove cathedrals shaped by tide and time. These forests do not resemble the forests we know. They do not whisper, they hum. They do not rustle, they sway. Their leaves are fins, their branches are currents. Their roots are anchors, not to earth, but to memory. Welcome to the world below the tree line of the ocean. Coral reefs are not plants. They are living animals building architecture from their bodies. Tiny polyp by tiny polyp. They construct cathedrals of colour. Limestone lattices that seem painted but are actually engineered. By day, the reefs glow. By night, they bloom. Their colours are not for decoration. They are survival. Pigments to shield from sun, signals to neighbours, warnings to predators, invitations to symbiotic life. Fish weave through the coral like birds between branches. Crabs scuttle through streets like merchants in a market. Octopuses change shape like thoughts adjusting to circumstance. A reef is a city, not in metaphor, in function. But cities can break. Coral bleaches when water warms. It loses the algae that feed it. White skeletons remain, still beautiful, but no longer alive. Yet reefs try again. They rebuild quietly. Growth measured not in seasons but in decades. Coral does not ask for rescue, it asks for time. Imagine trees that grow from anchors of stone, rising towards sunlight filtered through miles of water. Kelp stands like pillars swaying in unison as though the entire forest breathes. It does not grow slowly like trees. It grows with urgency, sometimes 2 feet a day, not chaos, intention. Sea otters drift among the fronds like woodland mammals on picnic blankets. Sea lions move through the shadows like wolves. Fish dart like sparrows in bursts of motion. Even sharks pass through, not hunting, simply travelling. What makes a forest feel sacred? Not height, not silence. Scale. Kelp forests create that scale effortlessly, not by being dominant, but by being numerous. They are proof that strength does not need hardness. These giants are soft, flexible, unarmored, yet unstoppable. They bow to currents rather than fight them. That is why they survive. On shallow sea floors, meadows stretch out. Not algae, not weeds, but true plants, flowering, rooted, photosynthesizing like their cousins on land. Seagrass is gentle, modest. It does not tower or shimmer or dazzle. And yet, it feeds entire species. It shelters the young. It calms the ocean floor. It captures more carbon than most forests on land. It is the unnoticed hero. The ecosystem no one writes fairy tales about. The foundation beneath the spectacular. Dugongs graze like underwater cows. Green turtles drift through like wandering nomads. Schools of juvenile fish hover in the blades, not ready for the bigger world. Where coral is architecture and kelp is cathedral, seagrass is community. This is not a place for spectacle. It is a place for beginning. Mangroves are the threshold, the place where ocean and land negotiate. Their roots twist like question marks, half in water, half in air. They do not fear salt. They drink it, sort it, purge it. Their leaves shimmer with crystals. Children of the tide, guardians of the coast. In their tangled roots, baby sharks hide from larger ones. Crabs cling like ornaments. Fish the size of fingernails grow into something braver. Birds perch above the water, hunting shadows beneath. Mangroves are bridges, biological and literal. They stabilize shorelines. They anchor memory. They hold worlds together. When storms come, Mangroves stand like guardians, not resisting the waves, absorbing them. Like all good protectors, they are not armored. They are rooted. If the oceans are the blood of the planet, then currents and tides are the pulse. They move without stopping. They circle without resting. They breathe without lungs. Not in chaos, not in force, in rhythm. The sea does not churn randomly. It remembers. Every wave, every swell, every rising tide is a repetition of something older. The ocean is the memory of Earth, expressed in water. What we see as motion is actually translation. The rotation of the planet, the pull of the moon, the heat of the sun, the shape of the continents. All of them whisper instructions into the sea, and the sea responds. Currents are the handwriting of the world. Tides are its heartbeat. Waves are its breathing. Let us walk, or rather drift, through them. Tides begin with an invisible touch, not lightning, not wind, a pull. The moon leans toward the ocean and the ocean listens. Its water lifts, drawn upward not because it is weak, but because it is willing. On the opposite side of the earth, water rises again, not pushed or pulled, but balanced. Two tides. Two responses to one gesture. High tide arrives like an inhalation, low tide like an exhale. The rhythm does not break. The rhythm does not forget. People once believed the moon and the sea were lovers separated by distance. Their only communication, this constant reaching. Once you watch tides long enough, the idea doesn't feel like myth. It feels like recognition. Waves approach shorelines more softly during high tide, lingering longer like someone reluctant to leave. During low tide, rocks are revealed. Things normally hidden beneath blue silence return to light. Tide pools form, tiny worlds appear, starfish cling to wet stone. Hermit crabs move like slow thoughts. Anemones open like shy flowers. This is not the ocean withdrawing, it is the ocean revealing. A wave is not water moving forward, it is energy moving through water. The wave travels, the water stays. A hand brushing the surface, not taking the surface with it. Small ripples begin in distant storms. They travel for days, weeks, sometimes months. By the time they reach a shore, the storm is long gone, forgotten by the sky, but not by the sea. Waves are messages delivered long after they were written. Sometimes they are gentle and almost shy, unfolding like soft fabric across the sand. Other times, they rise tall and wild, a reminder that nothing powerful needs to roar to be heard. It just needs to arrive. The sea breathes in crests and exhales in foam. Not a single wave is the same as another, and yet they belong to one pattern. This is how the ocean speaks. Deep beneath the surface, invisible highways of water stretch across the globe. Warm water moves toward cold places. Cold water sinks and returns like a long, slow tide of memory. Salt levels change density. Density shapes direction. It is a cycle too enormous for the human eye. It is a system too quiet for the human ear. Yet it affects everything. The Gulf Stream, warm as breath, carries heat from the tropics to colder coasts. It softens winters, shifts winds, changes rain. On the other side of the world, the Kuroshio Current does the same, a river of warmth flowing through sea instead of land. There is no beginning and no ending, only movement. Deep currents, the thermohaline circulation, take centuries to complete a single journey. A molecule of water sinking in the Arctic might not return to the surface until long after civilizations rise and fall. The ocean does not hurry. The ocean does not stall. The ocean simply continues. Currents and tides are not separate. They listen to each other. The moon pulls, the earth spins, wind forms, temperature shifts, salt dissolves, waves rise, currents answer. It is easy to believe the ocean is random when viewed in fragments, but when seen as a whole, it is choreography, not chaos. Chorus. Some places are rewritten twice a day. At high tide, mangrove roots disappear, swallowed in blue shadow. At low tide, the forest stands again, exposed. Creatures retreat, emerge, adapt. Life here does not fight the tide. It relies on it. Fish enter nurseries only when the water returns. Crabs migrate like pilgrims between pools. Birds time their hunt with the schedule of the moon. This is not survival. This is partnership. If you could listen to the ocean the way whales do, you would hear something strange. Rhythms in frequencies beyond human hearing. The tides hum, currents drone, waves whisper in patterns. It is the planet's metronome. Whales sing in alignment with deep water flows, as if using them for navigation. Dolphins time their travel with incoming tides. Even plankton rise and fall each night in the largest migration on Earth. Billions of tiny beings ascending to feed in moonlight, descending before dawn. The ocean has its own clock. It does not need ours. Storms do not frighten the ocean. They only stir its surface. Below the chaos, deep water continues in steady procession. The surface may rage, but the deep remains patient, like someone who has lived long enough to know the difference between noise and change. Swells arrive days later, reminders that nothing ever truly disappears. The wind forgets the storm, the sky forgets the storm, but the sea does not. Stillness returns. It always does. The ocean has a way of ending what begins and beginning what ends. Currents move heat, tides move nutrients, waves move energy. Without them, tropical seas would boil, polar seas would freeze, life would stall, weather would collapse, the world would suffocate in imbalance. Every breath of wind you feel on land has a history in the sea. Every rain cloud drifting overhead began as evaporation from a wave. Every snowflake carries the echo of salt water that once touched a shore. The atmosphere is only the ocean wandering. Imagine yourself floating on your back, eyes closed, ears underwater. The world above becomes distant, the world below becomes infinite. A swell lifts you, not to throw you, but to carry you. Gravity pulls you back, not to drown you, but to return you. You are held by physics, by gravity, by memory, by water. In that moment, you understand. The ocean is not watching the moon. The ocean is dancing with it. There are places on Earth where sunlight has never been. Miles beneath the waves, past the twilight and midnight zones, past where colour disappears and sound arrives slow as memory, the world becomes black. Not empty, just unlit. A darkness so whole it feels like the beginning of time. Down here, pressure is not a force. It is existence. The weight of the ocean presses with the strength of mountains turned to liquid. Anything built for the surface would collapse into dust. But the deep ocean does not break. It adapts. And in its deepest chambers, where the planet opens wounds in the seafloor and heat breathes out like the exhale of the earth, life began. Not in light, in fire, in darkness. Hydrothermal vents, black chimneys rising from the abyss, are birthplaces. They are not violent, they are not gentle, they are necessary. Imagine the world before the world. No trees, no sky, no breath, just ocean. Endless, heavy, waiting. Beneath it, molten rock churned. Minerals dissolved into hot, rising water. Vents formed, cracks in the Earth's crust. where the interior and exterior touched for the first time. Mineral-rich water erupted like underwater storms, clouds of iron, sulfur and carbon drifting into cold seawater. Heat and cold met. Chemistry and pressure collided, order tried to form from the scattered pieces of chaos, and somewhere in that collision, life flickered. Not lungs, not eyes, not even cells at first. Just reactions. Small, repeating, learning to continue. This was not creation with thunder, it was creation with patience. Life did not begin with a heartbeat, it began with a spark that refused to fade. Black smokers rise like chimneys built by volcanic breath. They release water so hot it should be impossible, and yet it flows through the abyss like ink dispersing in silence. Their plumes billow upward, clouds of darkness in a place already without light. A deeper shade of shadow, a layer of night within night. Around them, entire communities form, not based on sunlight, based on chemistry. Bacteria feed on minerals. They convert sulfur into energy. They build the foundation of a food chain without plants, without day, without warmth from above. From those first architects, life expands. Tube worms stand tall like pale white candles, with red plumes unfurling like banners. Crabs with translucent shells scuttle across the vent stones. Shrimp gather where heat meets cold, their bodies glowing faintly with reflected minerals. This is not a failed version of life. This is the original blueprint. Not all vents scream heat and darkness. Some whisper. White smokers release lighter minerals, silica, barium, calcium, clouds pale as ghost smoke, drifting gently into the water. They do not build towering chimneys, they form gardens of mineral spires. These vents are quieter, less violent, not birthplaces of fire, but nurseries of structure. If black smokers are the heart, white smokers are the bones. Life forms different shapes here, slower, softer, but just as resilient. Evolution does not rush. It waits for the right temperature, the right chemical, the right chance. Survival is not force, it is persistence. Most of the beings here will never see light. They do not need it. The deep has taught them other ways to sense. Heat gradients instead of vision. Chemical traces instead of color. Vibrations instead of sound. Some glow, not to be seen but to communicate. Some are blind, because sight would be a burden. Some have bodies that seem like mistakes, until you understand where they live. Take the tube worms. No mouths, no stomachs. They rely entirely on symbiotic bacteria inside their bodies to feed them. Two lives sharing one purpose. Take the vent crabs. Pale. Under the deepest water, where light has never arrived, the seafloor stretches out like a world forgotten. It is not smooth. It is not empty. It is a landscape with mountains, cliffs, canyons, and valleys larger than anything on land. The ocean hides its geography the way the mind hides memories, by sinking them where nothing can disturb them. Down here, nothing rushes. Sediment drifts like slow snowfall, settling on plains that have not seen disturbance for centuries. Time stretches, widens, becomes indistinguishable from stillness. The floor of the ocean is not dead, it is simply unhurried. Every grain of sand has a story, every crack in the crust remembers fire. Abyssal plains extend for thousands of miles, flat as calm breath. Pressure here does not threaten life, it defines it. Creatures are shaped by it, bones softened, fluids balanced to match the weight outside. To rise to the surface would be to unmake themselves. They belong to the deep, the way some thoughts belong to dreams. true only in darkness. Mountains rise unexpectedly from the plains. Seamounts, silent and enormous, stand taller than the Rockies, yet no eye sees them. Some are extinct volcanoes. Some still pulse with heat, magma cooling beneath the crust like embers under ash. Around their slopes, currents bend, swirling like wind around stone. These underwater mountains redirect water the way mountains on land redirect air, only slower, quieter, without sound. Ridges cut across the ocean floor like scars. The mid-ocean ridges are wounds where continents once tore apart. The earth still heals there. New crust forms from molten rock, cooling into stone that becomes part of the planet's skin. It is creation measured not in centuries, but in continents. The surface world imagines change as dramatic, explosive, loud. The deep ocean knows change can be silent and still be absolute. Trenches cut deeper still, some fall 7 miles down, deeper than any mountain is tall. No sunlight has ever touched those spaces. They are more alien than the surface of the moon. Down there, water weighs more than stone. It could crush steel as easily as paper. Yet life persists, not defiantly, but appropriately. Creatures here are not exceptions. They are responses. Soft bodies, slow metabolisms, biochemistry tuned to pressure like instruments tuned to pitch. In these trenches, sound travels differently. It moves faster, sharper, carrying whispers of earthquakes, the shifting of continental plates, the groaning of stone. The earth speaks to itself down there. It is a language without words, vibration, echo, tremor. Life hears it the way trees hear wind, fully, without needing to interpret. Even in stillness, movement continues. Sediment creeps like glaciers across plains. Undersea landslides reshape valleys. Volcanic heat creates pockets of warm water in the cold. Chemosynthetic bacteria form carpets on rocks, turning minerals into sustenance. The floor of the ocean is not a foundation, it is a frontier. Sometimes a whale falls. A body drifts downward for months, slowly spinning, sinking past thermoclines and pressure lines. When it lands, it becomes a world. An ecosystem forms. Scavengers arrive first. Hagfish, amphipods, deep-sea sharks. They feed, then depart. What remains becomes fuel for bacteria. The bones release oils. The skeleton becomes a neighborhood. A whale fall can feed a community for decades. Death does not end a life here. It redistributes it. There are lakes on the ocean floor, pools of brine so salty that normal seawater cannot mix with them. Their surfaces ripple like glass. Their shores form boundaries where crabs and fish gather, hesitant. To enter is to drown in salt. To remain outside is to watch a world inside a world. Sometimes bubbles rise from these brine pools, methane drifting upward like exhaled memories. Elsewhere, cold seeps leak chemicals from the crust. They smell of stone and ancient carbon. Life gathers, but quietly. Mussels anchor in clusters. Worms wave like grass. Nothing grows fast, but everything grows with intent. This terrain shapes the ocean above. Mountains guide currents. Valleys trap sediments. Ridges birth new water through heat. Every shoreline, every tide, every storm has a story that began on the seafloor. We look at waves crashing on beaches and think the energy began in the wind, but it began long before that, where earth and sea negotiated their boundary. To stand on the ocean floor would be like standing inside time itself. Dust that fell before the first cities were built rests beside dust that fell yesterday. Fossils 3 million years old lie beside bones still warm from descent. Time is not linear down there, It drifts, it piles, it accumulates. Silence is not absence of sound. It is fullness so complete that nothing escapes. Darkness is not lack of light. It is environment. It is habitat. It is home. The floor of the ocean is not a destination. It is the memory of the planet made physical. It is the archive of every tide that has ever turned, every continent that has ever moved, every life that has ever fallen back into the sea. It does not keep history. It becomes history. And yet, even here, where pressure crushes, where light fails, where heat escapes the earth like breath, there is softness. The way sediment settles like snowfall, the way creatures pulse instead of swim, the way the crust rebuilds itself slowly, confidently. It is not a landscape of despair, it is a landscape of endurance. Ice drifts silently in the polar oceans, colossal and unhurried. Bergs float like ancient sculptures, 90% hidden beneath the surface, carrying weight no human imagination can fully measure. Each iceberg is a slow traveler, shaped by centuries of snow, pressure and temperature. Their underwater portions carve currents and redirect flows, guiding life and cold water alike. They are both obstacle and refuge, mystery and measure. Beneath the ice, water is denser, colder, and almost still, yet it moves in ways invisible to the surface. This is the Antarctic bottom water, a current formed when cold, salty water sinks and begins a global journey. It travels across basins, creeping along abyssal plains, threading through trenches, shaping the deep. It carries oxygen and nutrients into the darkest parts of the oceans, feeding life where sunlight never arrives. Without it, the deep sea would stagnate. Icebergs carve from glaciers and ice shelves, each fracture a story of gravity and glacial flow. They drift slowly, sometimes for decades, until melting releases fresh water into the saltwater oceans. This mixing changes currents and subtly shifts climates far away, proving that the tiniest motion here can ripple across the planet. The cold water rising from polar depths affects rainfall in tropical regions. Snowfall thousands of miles away is a whisper from this slow, invisible journey. The ocean absorbs carbon, slowly but persistently. Phytoplankton floating in sunlight capture CO2, forming the base of life and the base of climate regulation. When they die, they sink, taking carbon with them to the deep. This biological pump operates without fanfare, its influence invisible yet essential. Through millions of years, the ocean has balanced warmth and cold, oxygen and carbon, currents and stillness. Every breath humans take depends in part on this subtle work, yet the ocean warms. Slowly, silently, a new imbalance grows. Currents shift. Ice melts earlier. Glacial runoff changes salinity. Storms swell differently. Species move, adapt, or perish. Even the slowest giants, the whales, the corals, the forests of kelp, feel the change. Life adapts, yes, but it is not invulnerable. It is a conversation, not a promise. Plastic drifts in gyres, slowly circling for decades. Sea turtles mistake it for jellyfish. Microplastics enter food chains. Even in the vastness, human touch appears, gentle in action, but persistent in consequence. And yet, life continues. Coral grows again. Fish find shelter. Phytoplankton bloom. Whales return. The ocean does not give up. It recalibrates, patiently, quietly, like a mind that never stops learning. The icebergs, the cold currents, the rising and falling of tides, they are the planet breathing, not quickly, not loudly, not to be noticed, but in every pulse, every drift, every melt, the earth continues its rhythm. And we, as part of this ocean, feel it when we notice or when we forget. It still holds us. Under the deepest water, where light has never arrived, the seafloor stretches out like a world forgotten. It is not smooth. It is not empty. It is a landscape with mountains, cliffs, canyons, and valleys larger than anything on land. The ocean hides its geography the way the mind hides memories, by sinking them where nothing can disturb them. Down here, nothing rushes. Sediment drifts like slow snowfall, settling on plains that have not seen disturbance for centuries. Time stretches, widens, becomes indistinguishable from stillness. The floor of the ocean is not dead. It is simply unhurried. Every grain of sand has a story. Every crack in the crust remembers fire. Abyssal plains extend for thousands of miles, flat as calm breath. Pressure here does not threaten life. It defines it. Creatures are shaped by it, bones softened, fluids balanced to match the weight outside. To rise to the surface would be to unmake themselves. They belong to the deep, the way some thoughts belong to dreams, true only in darkness. Mountains rise unexpectedly from the plains. Seamounts, silent and enormous, stand taller than the Rockies, yet no eye sees them. Some are extinct volcanoes. Some still pulse with heat, magma cooling beneath the crust like embers under ash. Around their slopes, currents bend, swirling like wind around stone. These underwater mountains redirect water the way mountains on land redirect air, only slower, quieter, without sound. Ridges cut across the ocean floor like scars. The mid-ocean ridges are wounds where continents once tore apart. The earth still heals there. New crust forms from molten rock, cooling into stone that becomes part of the planet's skin. It is creation measured not in centuries, but in continents. The surface world imagines change as dramatic, explosive, loud. The deep ocean knows change can be silent and still be absolute. Trenches cut deeper still, some fall 7 miles down, deeper than any mountain is tall. No sunlight has ever touched those spaces. They are more alien than the surface of the moon. Down there, water weighs more than stone. It could crush steel as easily as paper. Yet life persists, not defiantly, but appropriately. Creatures here are not exceptions. They are responses. Soft bodies, slow metabolisms, biochemistry tuned to pressure like instruments tuned to pitch. In these trenches, sound travels differently. It moves faster, sharper, carrying whispers of earthquakes, the shifting of continental plates, the groaning of stone. The earth speaks to itself down there. It is a language without words, vibration, echo, tremor. Life hears it the way trees hear wind, fully, without needing to interpret. Even in stillness, movement continues. Sediment creeps like glaciers across plains. Undersea landslides reshape valleys. Volcanic heat creates pockets of warm water in the cold. Chemosynthetic bacteria form carpets on rocks, turning minerals into sustenance. The floor of the ocean is not a foundation, it is a frontier. Sometimes a whale falls. A body drifts downward for months, slowly spinning, sinking past thermoclines and pressure lines. When it lands, it becomes a world. An ecosystem forms. Scavengers arrive first. Hagfish, amphipods, deep-sea sharks. They feed, then depart. What remains becomes fuel for bacteria. The bones release oils. The skeleton becomes a neighborhood. A whale fall can feed a community for decades. Death does not end a life here. It redistributes it. There are lakes on the ocean floor, pools of brine so salty that normal seawater cannot mix with them. Their surfaces ripple like glass. Their shores form boundaries where crabs and fish gather, hesitant. To enter is to drown in salt. To remain outside is to watch a world inside a world. Sometimes bubbles rise from these brine pools, methane drifting upward like exhaled memories. Elsewhere, cold seeps leak chemicals from the crust. They smell of stone and ancient carbon. Life gathers, but quietly. Mussels anchor in clusters. Worms wave like grass. Nothing grows fast, but everything grows with intent. This terrain shapes the ocean above. Mountains guide currents. Valleys trap sediments. Ridges birth new water through heat. Every shoreline, every tide, every storm has a story that began on the seafloor. We look at waves crashing on beaches and think the energy began in the wind, but it began long before that, where earth and sea negotiated their boundary. To stand on the ocean floor would be like standing inside time itself. Dust that fell before the first cities were built rests beside dust that fell yesterday. Fossils 3 million years old lie beside bones still warm from descent. Time is not linear down there. It drifts, it piles, it accumulates. Silence is not absence of sound. It is fullness so complete that nothing escapes. Darkness is not lack of light. It is environment. It is habitat. It is home. The floor of the ocean is not a destination. It is the memory of the planet made physical. It is the archive of every tide that has ever turned, every continent that has ever moved, every life that has ever fallen back into the sea. It does not keep history. It becomes history. And yet, even here, where pressure crushes, where light fails, where heat escapes the earth like breath, there is softness. The way sediment settles like snowfall, the way creatures pulse instead of swim, the way the crust rebuilds itself slowly, confidently. It is not a landscape of despair. It is a landscape of endurance. Ice drifts silently in the polar oceans, colossal and unhurried. Bergs float like ancient sculptures, 90% hidden beneath the surface, carrying weight no human imagination can fully measure. Each iceberg is a slow traveler, shaped by centuries of snow, pressure and temperature. Their underwater portions carve currents and redirect flows, guiding life and cold water alike. They are both obstacle and refuge, mystery and measure. Beneath the ice, water is denser, colder, and almost still, yet it moves in ways invisible to the surface. This is the Antarctic bottom water, a current formed when cold, salty water sinks and begins a global journey. It travels across basins, creeping along abyssal plains, threading through trenches, shaping the deep. It carries oxygen and nutrients into the darkest parts of the oceans, feeding life where sunlight never arrives. Without it, the deep sea would stagnate. Icebergs carve from glaciers and ice shelves, each fracture a story of gravity and glacial flow. They drift slowly, sometimes for decades, until melting releases fresh water into the saltwater oceans. This mixing changes currents and subtly shifts climates far away, proving that the tiniest motion here can ripple across the planet. The cold water rising from polar depths affects rainfall in tropical regions. Snowfall thousands of miles away is a whisper from this slow, invisible journey. The ocean absorbs carbon, slowly but persistently. Phytoplankton, floating in sunlight, capture CO2, forming the base of life and the base of climate regulation. When they die, they sink, taking carbon with them to the deep. This biological pump operates without fanfare, its influence invisible yet essential. Through millions of years, the ocean has balanced warmth and cold, oxygen and carbon, currents and stillness. Every breath humans take depends in part on this subtle work. Yet the ocean warms. Slowly, silently, a new imbalance grows. Currents shift. Ice melts earlier. Glacial runoff changes salinity. Storms swell differently. Species move, adapt, or perish. Even the slowest giants, the whales, the corals, the forests of kelp, feel the change. Life adapts, yes, but it is not invulnerable. It is a conversation, not a promise. Plastic drifts in gyres, slowly circling for decades. Sea turtles mistake it for jellyfish. Microplastics enter food chains. Even in the vastness, human touch appears, gentle in action, but persistent in consequence. And yet, life continues. Coral grows again. Fish find shelter. Phytoplankton bloom. Whales return. The ocean does not give up. It recalibrates, patiently, quietly, like a mind that never stops learning. The icebergs, the cold currents, the rising and falling of tides, they are the planet breathing, not quickly, not loudly, not to be noticed, but in every pulse, every drift, every melt, the earth continues its rhythm. And we, as part of this ocean, feel it when we notice or when we forget. It still holds us. Sunlight barely reaches the upper 100 meters of the ocean, and yet life thrives far below in a world untouched by day. The twilight zone begins, a place of fading blue light, where creatures adjust to the slow disappearance of vision and the quiet dominance of darkness. Here, faintly glowing organisms drift like suspended lanterns. Their light is soft, purposeful, alive. Each pulse, each flicker is a signal, a warning, a call, a dance. Below the twilight zone lies the midnight zone, starting at 3,000 feet. Here, the world is entirely black. Yet darkness does not mean emptiness. Life persists in elegant adaptation. Bioluminescence becomes language. Eyes enlarge, sensitive to the faintest glimmer. Movement slows, conserving energy. Predation is not frantic, it is calculated. Survival here is patience refined into art. The immortal jellyfish exists in this realm, quietly reversing its life cycle when stressed. Its existence defies linear time. It drifts, pulses, grows young again, repeating cycles not with haste but with serene inevitability. Life itself is malleable, fluid, soft in its resilience. Blue whales traverse the open seas, the largest animals ever to exist, yet their songs are low and haunting. They move with purpose, gliding thousands of miles with calm certainty. Their hearts beat only a few times per minute, in harmony with the rhythm of the ocean itself. The slow cadence is life measured by presence, not urgency. Giant squid live deep in the abyss, their eyes enormous to capture whatever little light filters down. They glide silently, tentacles extending and retracting with precision. Predation and evasion are a dance performed in slow motion. The deep sea is not brutal, it is deliberate. Sperm whales dive over a mile down, holding their breath for 90 minutes. They descend into darkness not in desperation, but in patience. Each movement is calculated. Each return to the surface is a re-emergence, a reminder that even in extremes, calm persistence governs. Octopuses solve puzzles, change color instantly, and move with an intelligence that feels almost reflective of the human mind. They are fluid, not just in movement, but in thought. Kelp forests sway in the currents, growing fast and tall, yet bending without breaking. Even the simplest organisms, plankton, float through currents, producing oxygen for the entire planet. Upwelling brings nutrient-rich cold water to the surface, feeding blooms of life. Brine pools form hypersaline lakes with their own ecosystems. Hydrothermal vents release warm mineral water, hosting tube worms, black smokers, and cold seeps. Whale falls descend to the seafloor, sustaining communities for decades. The ocean floor spreads slowly at mid-ocean ridges. Seamounts rise, hiding life in their shadow. Mangroves protect coastlines. Tides rise and fall. Waves travel vast distances, synchronizing brainwaves for humans who hear them. Saltwater heals, cleanses, soothes. The ocean contains 97% of Earth's water, most of it unexplored. Waterfalls flow underwater in the Denmark Strait. Antarctic bottom water forms and spreads, bringing life-sustaining cold to the deep. Icebergs drift, mostly submerged, while carbon absorption and ocean warming continue quietly. Plastic drifts as a silent reminder of human presence. Yet life adapts. Corals recover, whales return, phytoplankton bloom. The ocean endures in balance, in rhythm, in soft persistence. Life in the ocean is a mosaic of adaptation, resilience, and quiet brilliance. Every corner, from sunlit surfaces to the deepest trenches, is filled with beings living in harmony with forces far larger than themselves. Sea turtles navigate thousands of miles using Earth's magnetic field, moving with precision and calm. Dolphins sleep with one eye open, resting half their brain at a time. Manta rays glide effortlessly, filtering plankton in wide, gentle arcs. Sharks, roaming for hundreds of millions of years, swim in rhythms ancient as the ocean itself. Bioluminescence remains a language in the deep. Creatures flash, pulse and glow, communicating messages invisible to all but those who belong. Jellyfish drift like drifting lanterns, some living centuries. The immortal jellyfish reverses its life cycle, a testament to the ocean's patient mastery of time and renewal. Even the smallest organisms participate in grand cycles, releasing oxygen, capturing carbon, and sustaining ecosystems invisible from above. Coral reefs rise slowly, layer by layer, built by tiny polyps in a collaboration that spans centuries. Great Barrier Reef, the largest living structure on Earth, is visible from space, yet its formation is composed of thousands of subtle, persistent acts. Corals spawn under the light of the full moon, synchronizing effortlessly. Seagrass meadows sway, storing carbon and providing nurseries for young marine life. Kelp forests tower, growing up to 2 feet per day, bending but never breaking, soft guardians of the sea. Hydrothermal vents release warm mineral water, nurturing tube worms and unique communities. Brine pools form hypersaline lakes, providing niches for life adapted to extremes. Whale falls feed decades of scavengers. Mid-ocean ridges slowly spread, birthing new crust, while seamounts rise silently, creating habitats hidden from the world above. Mangroves cradle coastlines, tidal cycles rise and fall, and waves traverse vast distances, gently influencing life above and below. The sound of the ocean has the power to synchronize human brainwaves, promoting calm. Saltwater heals, cleanses, and soothes. Icebergs float, mostly submerged, carrying memories of centuries of frozen water. The ocean absorbs carbon, regulates climate, and produces oxygen, quietly sustaining the planet. Plastic drifts as a persistent reminder of human impact, yet resilience continues. Corals recover, whales return, life adapts. The ocean endures through cycles of change, teaching persistence, patience, and harmony. Every layer, every current, every organism participates in a choreography older than humanity. Existence here is not hurried. It is precise. It is measured. It is calm. The ocean is a library of life, a symphony of persistence, and a testament to endurance. The ocean, vast and eternal, is the memory of Earth. It holds within its depths the story of the planet, written not in words but in water, life, and movement. From the sunlit surfaces to the deepest trenches, it is a place of calm, persistence, and continuity, where every current, every wave, and every living being plays a part in a symphony older than time itself. The ocean is the earth breathing, slowly, deeply, patiently. To understand it is not merely to study its creatures or its chemistry, but to feel its rhythm, to recognize its continuity, to see how life thrives in its infinite diversity. On the surface, sunlight dances over waves, painting the sea with shades of blue and silver. Phytoplankton bloom in the gentle warmth, releasing oxygen that fills the air we breathe. Fish swim in schools that flash like living mirrors, and whales rise to the surface to breathe, singing songs that travel thousands of miles. Every organism, from the tiniest plankton to the largest whale, contributes to the balance of life, feeding one another, maintaining harmony. The ocean does not rush. It allows life to evolve at its own pace, teaching patience and resilience. Beneath the waves, life grows in subtlety and mystery. Coral reefs rise like cities built by countless tiny polyps, each layer a record of persistence. Kelp forests tower underwater, swaying gracefully with the currents, their growth a testament to adaptability. Seagrass meadows cradle juvenile fish, storing carbon and stabilizing the seafloor, while mangrove roots protect coastlines, creating nurseries for countless species. These forests of the sea are not merely habitats, they are the lungs, the protection, and the foundation of the entire marine ecosystem. Deeper still, where sunlight fades into twilight and then darkness, life finds other ways to exist. In the midnight zone, bioluminescent creatures communicate, hunt, and navigate using light produced from within. Giant squid glide silently, eyes wide to capture the faintest glimmers. Sperm whales dive for miles, holding their breath in perfect calm, entering realms where pressure is a constant companion. Even the immortal jellyfish drifts, reversing its life cycle with quiet inevitability, demonstrating that time is flexible and life can be renewed. The ocean floor, with its seamounts, trenches, and mid-ocean ridges, is a landscape of extremes. Hydrothermal vents release heat and minerals, forming ecosystems without sunlight. Brine pools create isolated hypersaline lakes, hosting creatures that defy expectations. Whale falls provide sustenance for decades, turning death into life. Currents and tides, driven by the moon, the sun, and the rotation of the Earth, move water around the globe, redistributing heat, nutrients, and oxygen. They are the ocean's circulatory system, invisible yet vital, connecting life across thousands of miles. Even in the polar regions, the ocean teaches lessons in resilience. Icebergs drift slowly, 90% submerged, shaping currents and creating habitats. Cold water sinks, forming the Antarctic bottom water that nourishes the deep, sustaining life far from the sun. Water warms gradually, reminding us that change is constant. Plastic drifts as a quiet mark of human presence, yet the ocean endures and life adapts. Corals recover, whales return, plankton bloom again. The ocean recalibrates itself, teaching us the meaning of balance and patience. The ocean is not merely a body of water, it is a living system, a network of interconnections, a repository of the Earth's memory. Every organism, Every current, every wave, and every particle of sediment carries history within it. Ice drifts in silence, shaped by centuries, moving with the patience of geology. Each fracture in an iceberg is a memory of pressure and wind, of snowfall compacted into ancient crystal. Beneath the surface, the submerged body of ice is a cathedral of pale blue caverns and ridges, unseen but immense. Seals rest on frozen shelves above, while krill swarm below in shimmering intervals, forming clouds of motion that resemble constellations rearranging themselves with every tide. Cold is not emptiness here, it is structure. It is the shape in which life has learned to survive. Underwater, the cold grows sharper, and the color drains into gradients of muted blue. Life moves slowly, but with purpose. Fish develop antifreeze proteins in their blood, preventing ice crystals from forming inside them. This adaptation is not desperate, it is elegant. It is the ocean teaching living beings to belong. Below the ice, sound travels in strange ways. It stretches, lingers, reflects. A whale song can travel for thousands of miles, unbroken, echoing across basins like a message searching for someone who remembers. The polar oceans are not quiet, they are composed. When Antarctic bottom water sinks, its descent is a ritual. The cold water folds into itself, becoming denser than all around it, beginning its journey across the world's seafloor. It moves like a thought forming, a current so slow it feels still, yet powerful enough to influence monsoons, seasons, and the migration of storm systems. This current feeds the deep with oxygen, just as forests feed the air. Without it, the deep ocean would suffocate. With it, ecosystems flourish in places where sunlight has never existed. Life does not rely on light here, it relies on memory. As the ocean absorbs carbon, it does not resist, it receives. Phytoplankton bloom near the surface, anchoring carbon in their fragile bodies. When they die, they sink, carrying with them fragments of the atmosphere that once drifted free. Some dissolve in the midwater, some reach the seafloor, some remain suspended for centuries, waiting to return. Carbon becomes part of the cycle, the ocean's quiet conversation with the sky, but warming shifts the balance. Fresh water from melting ice disrupts salinity, and salinity disrupts currents. The slow heartbeat of the ocean changes tempo. Ice shelves carve with low, resonant cracks that sound like the planet exhaling. Meltwater flows into the sea, creating layers of stratification that prevent mixing. Nutrients remain trapped below. Life adjusts. Fish migrate north. Krill populations pulse in different patterns. Even the great whales alter their routes by degrees so small the casual observer would never notice. But for a whale, a single degree means hundreds of miles. The ocean is not resisting change, it is calculating in real time. Storms draw energy from warmer water. They gather strength, and their winds travel farther. The surface becomes restless, but the depths remain calm, unaware of the chaos above. This separation is symbolic. The ocean holds its balance in layers, insulating its core from surface noise. Even in moments of upheaval, there is structure. The cold is a blueprint. The warmth is a variable. Life negotiates between them. Plastic drifts into gyres not as invaders, but as reminders. They circle for years, unchanging. Microplastics sink like synthetic snow, entering the food chain. But the ocean responds with adaptation, not surrender. Bacteria begin to evolve enzymes that can break down polymers. It is slow. It will take decades, perhaps centuries. But the ocean is familiar with centuries. Change measured in human panic is measured in oceanic patience. Below the ice, ecosystems anchored in darkness remain untouched by human eyes. There are sponges that live 10,000 years, sea stars with 30 arms, microbes that metabolize sulfur and iron the way humans metabolize oxygen. Each organism is the answer to a question evolution asked millions of years ago. They are not primitive, they are perfected. Whales return to ancient migration routes. Their presence is an act of restoration. Coral larvae find fragments of reef and begin to rebuild. Kelp forests regrow where waters calm. The ocean holds within it the blueprint for healing, if disturbance slows enough for the cycle to resume. Time is the variable. Patience is the method. The polar oceans are not endings. They are beginnings in slow formation. A world being rewritten under ice, where the cold is not a barrier but a womb. Where darkness is not a void but a cradle. Where change is not collapse but evolution rehearsing. The ocean forming shifting patterns that resemble drifting memories. The upper layer of the sea is a cathedral of brightness, a place where life gathers to feed, grow, and drift. Yet even here, where light still reaches, nothing is hurried. Fish school together in movements that feel choreographed, turning and gliding as though guided by an unseen conductor. Their bodies catch the light like silver leaves. Plankton float freely, forming the base of every food chain, each cell a quiet architect of oxygen. In their drifting, the planet breathes. Beneath them, currents slide past each other like layered silk. Warm water moves one way, cold water another, forming invisible rivers within the sea. These currents are memory and structure. They carry heat from equator to pole, carry nutrients from deep to surface, carry stories of distant shores. They do not rise suddenly, they rise like understanding. Even storms, though violent, are surface events. Below them, the ocean remains calm, heavy, listening. Pressure increases with depth, like a slow thought taking shape. The edge of light becomes softer, blue deepens into indigo, and the twilight zone begins. Here, the world becomes quieter, as if the ocean itself is exhaling. Animals appear and vanish like dreams. Lanternfish rise at night to feed, then sink back when dawn returns. Their journey is the largest migration on Earth, but it happens invisibly. They cross vertical miles in silence, guided by instinct, by hunger, by tides humans cannot feel. Zooplankton follow them, rising in vast clouds that move like weather. Life here is rhythm, formal and ancient. Further below, vision becomes unnecessary. Shapes blur into shadow. Organisms evolve eyes that widen, pupils that drink in the last traces of light. Jellyfish drift in slow pulses, their bodies transparent, their tendrils trailing behind like strands of memory. They are not fragile. They are perfect for their world. Time moves differently around them. Moments elongate, decisions soften. Even predators are patient here. Many do not chase. They wait, they conserve. They drift until opportunity arrives like a slow tide. Sardines shimmer near the surface, forming walls of movement that arc through sunlight. Tuna slice through water with precision, their bodies built for speed, but their motions smooth, uninterrupted. Dolphins appear, guiding themselves with sound. Their clicks and calls echo like questions, bouncing to create maps of presence. They rest with half their brain asleep, drifting while awake. This balance is the ocean's lesson. Rest does not always require stillness. Coral polyps begin their work near the coasts, each building upward in increments too small for a single lifetime to appreciate. Reefs grow in secrets. A millimeter here, another there. Decades pass, generations build. And eventually, a city stands. Fish weave between branching corals, octopuses press themselves into crevices, and crustaceans climb like gardeners tending a garden of stone. Even damage is not conclusion. Bleached coral is not always a graveyard. Sometimes it is a threshold. Recovery begins invisible. Seagrass meadows root themselves where light still gathers. They store carbon in soil beneath currents. They anchor sand. They shelter young fish. Their blades sway with tides like pages turning in a book. Turtles swim to them, guided by magnetic memory. Every hatchling knows the ocean not by instruction, but by inheritance. It enters waves without question, without hesitation, without fear. The sea welcomes it the way a memory welcomes recognition. Tides rise and fall because of the moon. Gravity pulls on water and water responds, not instantly, but perfectly. Each tide is an inhale, each retreat an exhale. The shoreline listens. Sand shapes itself according to repetition. Patterns form, shells settle. The world feels steady. No argument, no hurry, no resistance, only response. Waves are born far away, in winds that may die before the waves reach land. They travel for days, sometimes weeks, across oceans until they arrive on shores that never knew the storms that made them. Their journey is endurance, not chaos. When they break, they do not announce their history. They simply become what they are: sound, foam, memory dissolving into present moment. Salt settles on skin. It heals. It cleanses. It reminds. Humans are not separate from the ocean. They are echoes of it. Our blood holds similar salinity. Our bodies remember water. Our lungs draw breath made by phytoplankton floating in distant sunlight. We come from the sea biologically, historically, and imaginatively. Every heartbeat carries the ocean faintly inside it. Above, seabirds glide over swells, wings spread to feel the lift of wind reflected off waves. They dive and rise, part of the same cycle as tides. The surface, shimmering and restless, becomes a boundary between worlds. Not a separation, but a meeting. Light above, depth below. Air and water, joined but distinct. The surface ocean is not introduction. It is invitation. It is where the planet shows its breath most clearly. It is where sky meets memory. It is where life begins its descent. Light thins as the ocean deepens, as though the world itself is gently dimming the further one descends. The transition from surface radiance to muted blue is not abrupt. It is a soft unmaking of daylight. Shadows lengthen until they become the environment itself. This is the twilight zone, where the last traces of the sun dissolve into memory and where life adjusts not by resisting darkness, but by becoming fluent in it. Here, colors fade, outlines soften, and everything moves as if sound might shatter the water around it. In this vast layer, creatures rise and fall with the coming of night and day. Lanternfish ascend like drifting stars, their bodies flickering with bioluminescence, forming constellations that are visible only to those who belong here. When dawn approaches, they descend again, sinking through gradients of fading light. It is the largest migration on Earth, yet it happens invisibly, concealed from the surface world that never knows it is occurring. Billions of organisms move in synchronized silence, a tide of bodies instead of water. Jellyfish drift in slow breaths of motion, their bells pulsing like the quiet beating of time. Their tentacles trail behind, nearly invisible, capturing food with patience instead of pursuit. They are the shape of calm survival. No urgency, no rigidity, only rhythm. Their glow is not decoration, it is communication. Signals not meant for us, but for the others who share this zone. Some jellyfish here are older than nations. Some can return to youth when facing death, reversing their life cycle as if memory itself were elastic. Eyes grow wider in this dimness. Pupils expand to drink in the last fragments of light. Some animals develop mirrors within their eyes, reflecting what little they receive to improve vision. Others abandon sight entirely, relying on vibration, instinct, scent. Evolution here does not demand symmetry or beauty by surface standards. It demands precision. A jaw that hinges too wide, a spine that bends like wire, a mouth filled with teeth like needles, not for violence, but for assurance that energy is not wasted. Every structure has purpose. Bioluminescence becomes language. Some fish glow to lure prey, others flash to startle predators. Some use light as camouflage, countershading their bodies so perfectly they vanish into the water around them. Predators wait with stillness that feels ancient, like statues residing in blue dusk. They do not chase, they calculate. Here, haste is not strength. Precision is. Hunger is not panic, it is mathematics. Pressure increases, ton by ton, compressing anything unprepared for descent. But the creatures here do not fight the pressure, they match it. Bones soften, fluids equalize. Bodies adapt until the outside and inside are in equilibrium. They are shaped by the world they inhabit, not forced to resist it. There is a lesson in that. Survival is not always refusal. Sometimes survival is the art of becoming the environment. Silt drifts downward like snowfall. Marine snow, they call it. Particles of life that once lived above, now descending to feed what lives below. In that snowfall are the remains of plankton, fragments of bodies, pieces of history. Down here, nothing is wasted. Even decay has purpose. Even endings feed beginnings. Predators appear like thoughts forming in the dark, swift, precise, necessary. But they do not kill for chaos. They kill because energy must move, because the cycle must continue, because life here is measured in exchange, not competition. Everything that happens in the twilight zone is part of a ledger so old no mind remembers when it began. Currents slip like whispers, subtle but vast. Some carry warmth downward, some pull cold water up. In their movement, nutrients spread and lives change. The twilight zone is not static, it is circulation, translation, interpretation of light into darkness and darkness into sustenance. It is where the ocean learns to balance itself. Above, the surface is a memory. Below, darkness waits. Here, in the middle, life adapts in ways that feel like myth, shrinking, lengthening, glowing, vanishing. This is a world where evolution is not dramatic but delicate, where survival is not brutal but inevitable. The twilight zone holds the bridge between what the ocean was and what it becomes. Down here, everything moves slowly, not from weakness, but from wisdom. Energy is saved, sound is softened, light is borrowed, time stretches. The continental shelf slopes downward like a forgotten stairway, and with every meter, the world changes its vocabulary. Colours begin to drown first, reds disappearing almost immediately, oranges fading next, yellows dissolving until only blue remains. It is like watching daylight be erased gently, one shade at a time. The water grows colder, not harshly but with a kind of slow insistence, a reminder that this realm does not belong to the surface world. Creatures here move differently, not rushed like those above, but with purpose shaped by scarcity. Fins spread wider to capture currents, bodies taper to cheat drag. Nothing here wastes motion. Rock faces descend like cliffs swallowed in shadow, home to creatures that hide within cracks and ledges, some armored, some soft as drifting silk. Crabs with translucent shells pick their way across stone as if learning the ground beneath them as they go. Some fish cling to the surfaces with suction organs, holding fast even as currents try to pull them away. Others hang motionless in the water, suspended like forgotten thoughts. The silence is not empty. It is full of waiting. The light that reaches this place is not illumination, but memory. It does not show forms clearly, it suggests them. A fin glimpsed, a shadow turning, a body slipping past the edge of visibility. Down here, living is an act of trusting senses that are not sight. Pressure begins to rise. Not enough to crush, but enough to remind the body what depth demands. Every heartbeat feels heavier. Every breath, if lungs existed here, would feel slower. The seabed becomes a gallery of contrasts. There are gardens of soft corals that sway like candle flames underwater, pale pinks fading to ghost white. There are fields of sea stars, camouflaged against sand the color of bone. Shrimp with transparent bodies move like living glass sculptures, scattering when a predator passes overhead. Everything is fragile and ruthless at once. Adaptation is the law, hesitation is the cost. Somewhere in the murk, a shadow glides. Its outline does not warn, it simply exists, not hunting yet. Not fleeing, just moving, as though continuation itself is the point. The continental slope is not a battlefield, it is an examination. And only those who answer correctly are allowed to descend further toward the places where light does not survive. Farther down, where the world folds into deeper gradients of blue, life begins to speak in languages of pressure and instinct. The thermocline arrives like an invisible barrier. Warm water above, cold water below. Divided not by walls, but by sensation. Crossing it feels like stepping through a doorway into another world, where the rules of the surface no longer apply. Sound travels farther here, bending through layers of temperature, echoing like voices stretched into distance. Schools of fish move like single organisms, thousands of bodies responding as if to one impulse. They turn as though following a thought that doesn't belong to any one of them, but lives between them. Flashing silver scales catch what little light exists and scatter it like fragments of shattered stars. Predators glide through, patient and unhurried, not breaking formation, but waiting for a seam in the patterns. One mistake, one falter, one fish too slow. Canyons open beneath, carved over millennia by currents so persistent that rock yielded like clay. It is here that ancient shipwrecks lie, not ruined, but absorbed into the ecosystem. Wood and metal becoming skeletons for coral, homes for anemones, highways for eels. Time does not destroy here, it repurposes. Even artifacts of human tragedy become scaffolds for new beginnings. The water is colder now, a temperature that presses against skin like a warning. Muscles tighten. Movements grow economical. Animals here conserve energy as if oxygen were precious currency. Some drift, letting currents carry them rather than swimming. Others bury themselves in the sand, vanishing until the world forgets they were ever there. Camouflage becomes art. Skin-shifting patterns like brushstrokes, bodies blending into stone, fins mimicking fronds of kelp. This zone is twilight, but twilight with teeth. For every serene motion, there is hunger. For every gentle drift, there is a predator studying the dark. A shark passes, not the monster from surface legends, but an ancient slate-colored creature with eyes black as obsidian. It is quiet, graceful, almost reverent. It wastes nothing. It kills only when it must. It has survived eras that erased entire species, entire continents, entire climates. Not through strength alone, but through understanding the rhythm of the deep. Down here, heartbeat and water pressure synchronize. Thought slows. The body listens. And depth whispers a question that every creature must answer. How far are you willing to go to truly belong to the ocean? Deeper still, the sea thickens into a world where light is no longer a presence, but a memory slowly dissolving. This is the realm where the ocean begins to feel ancient, where every movement seems shaped by time rather than motion. Pressure builds here with quiet authority, not violent or sudden, but absolute, like the weight of forgotten centuries resting gently on water. It squeezes, not to crush, but to remind. Down here, even existence must negotiate. Creatures adapt in silence. Some grow eyes wide enough to catch the faintest glimmers. Others abandon vision entirely, developing senses that read vibrations like braille across the currents. The world descends into the mesopelagic doorway, where daylight dissolves into gradients of navy and cobalt until even color forgets itself. It is a place where vision narrows and instinct widens, where anything that shines is either lure or warning. Creatures drift like fragments of dreams, thin and translucent, built not for beauty but for endurance. Fins turn to whispers, movements turn to thought. Life grows delicate and dangerous in equal measure. Here, jellyfish bloom like silent chandeliers suspended in water columns, their tentacles trailing behind like strands of luminous silk. Their bodies pulse in slow rhythms, as though time beats differently inside them. They glow softly, bioluminescent halos blooming with every contraction. Some are no larger than fingernails, others wide as umbrellas drifting without destination. They are both prey and predator, both fragile and eternal, reminders that survival can be gentle. A comb jelly passes, its body refracting faint light into rainbow patterns, not because color is needed here, but because existence sometimes creates beauty without reason. It spins slowly, rows of cilia rippling like sequins turning in breeze. There is no hunt in its motion, only continuation. It survives because the ocean allows it to, not because it conquers. Farther down, shadow becomes substance. Shapes that seem harmless resolve into hunters. The anglerfish waits with a stillness that feels like patience, a lure of living light dangling from its brow. It offers glow to the dark, a beacon for the curious, the hungry, the unwary. Those who approach do not understand the bargain. Jaws unfold like a trapdoor. The dark takes what answers the call. Nothing screams here. Sound cannot carry shock when everything already moves in whispers. Nearby, a curtain of siphonophores stretches longer than whales, a colonial creature made of thousands of tiny organisms acting as one. Some parts sting, some parts feed, some parts simply float. Together they form a drifting metropolis, a body of many bodies, a single life wearing countless faces. They glide like a ghostly procession through the deep, lights flickering across their length like lanterns at a river ceremony. Currents weave through canyons gouged into the seafloor, moving slowly, as if cautious not to disturb what rests there. And resting there are fossils of storms, remains of migrations, bones of things that once chased sunlight. They wait in the dark, as though memory anchors them. A spine here, a jaw there, never scattered, only settled. Even in decay, the ocean is gentle. Pressure now feels like an embrace made from miles of water. It presses against skin, against scale, against shell, a constant reminder that every heartbeat must be earned. Creatures that live here do not resist, they evolve. Bones lighten or vanish. Gas bladders disappear. Bodies compress into streamlined silhouettes. Nothing collapses. Everything adapts. Squid fleets rise and fall like tides of muscle and ink. They communicate in pulses of color that flash along their bodies, messages written in living neon. These are words without sound, conversations without breath. Some pass close, curious but unafraid, eyes reflecting the faint shimmer of unseen light. Their curiosity does not resemble ours. It is older, quieter, shaped by water rather than wonder. In the distance, the call of a whale travels through the depth like a tremor of thought. It vibrates through bone and water alike, a song stretched thin by distance. No melody, no lyric, just resonance. Yet the message inside it is immense. I am here. You are not alone in the dark. The reply may take miles to carry, but it will arrive. Nothing here wastes. Nothing rushes. Everything persists. Deeper again, the ocean changes not in sudden steps, but in gradual surrender. This is where light gives up entirely, where vision is replaced by intuition. The darkness here is not empty. It is full, textured, layered like velvet stretched across the world. It absorbs motion, swallows color, and holds silence the way the sky holds stars. Down here, survival becomes an act of interpretation rather than perception. Creatures generate their own glow, small galaxies drifting through vast blackness. Some flicker in pulses, like heartbeat Morse code. Others shimmer continuously, a steady luminescence that outlines their forms like halos. The glow is not decoration, it is function. It attracts prey. It confuses predators. It signals mates. In a world without sunlight, biology invents its own constellations. A gulper eel emerges from the dark, its jaw unspooling like a shadow turning into architecture. Its mouth could swallow creatures larger than itself, not for hunger alone, but because scarcity demands possibility. Its body is slender, almost ribbon-like, as though designed not to swim but to slip through dimensions. It blinks once, slowly, a pinprick of awareness before drifting away like a memory. Nearby, the vampire squid moves like smoke. Not a hunter, but a scavenger. Not a predator, but a patient witness of falling life from above. Its arms are lined with sensory filaments that read the water like sheets of braille, deciphering chemical messages invisible to sight. It glows faintly along its cloak, red and blue shifting like distant emergency lights in a forgotten tunnel. Yet it harms nothing unless hunger demands. The water temperature drops further, cold as forgotten winters. The pressure here is like a mountain inverted. Humans crossing these depths would collapse in moments. Bones folding inward, lungs imploding into silence. But the creatures built for this world do not resist. It is the environment that made them. Their blood is antifreeze. Their cells compress instead of rupture. Their shapes defy surface logic. The floor rises unexpectedly into a plateau of ancient stone where tube worms sway around hydrothermal vents that tower like chimneys of smoke. Superheated water bursts from fissures with a quiet fury, rich with minerals, scorching enough to boil skin, yet surrounded by creatures that thrive. Here, life does not depend on sunlight, but on chemistry. Bacteria feast on minerals like plants feast on light. Entire ecosystems bloom from heat and darkness. Giant crabs patrol the vent fields with legs like armored stilts, claws poised like questions. Their eyes are pale, unused to brightness, pupils wide like eclipses. They move with purpose, not aggression. Everything here costs energy, nothing is wasted on anger. Even predation feels like transaction, not violence. Life feeds life because existence demands exchange. Black smoke rises from the vents, carrying metals that fall like underwater ash. Over centuries, chimneys grow, twisting upward like cathedrals formed from minerals rather than stone. They are alive, in a way, shaped by pressure and heat. Each structure is a monument to endurance. Each plume is a sermon on adaptation. A current sweeps through, not rough, but resolute. It carries larvae, microscopic wanderers born to drift until they find a home or become one. The ocean raises them without promise, only opportunity. Some will settle in reefs, some will vanish in the jaws of something larger. Some will never touch land. But all will try, because the deep demands it. This realm is not empty, it is simply misunderstood. It is not silent. It speaks in vibration, in temperature, in chemical gradients that whisper across the skin. To live here is to read those messages. To die here is to return to them. The ocean does not end. It folds. It does not close. It waits. Further down, the ocean becomes a record of Earth's memory, a place where the present feels ancient and the ancient never fully leaves. The midnight zone stretches out like an endless chamber, walls made of water, floors made of pressure. Time feels slower here, not because it stops, but because nothing rushes to meet it. Life is methodical. Motion is intentional. Even the currents feel older, like they have learned every path and now trace them like prayers. This is the realm where giants glide. A sperm whale descends, its heartbeat slow as a drum in a distant temple. Its ribs flex to withstand the crushing pressure. Its lungs are not filled with air but folded inward, stored, blood rich with oxygen to feed the long dive. It sings as it falls through the dark, sound rippling like soft thunder. The echoes stretch out across the void, returning from unseen cliffs and creatures like a compass made from voice. It is both alone and never truly solitary, because the dark itself listens. Below the whale, colossal squid rise from deeper shadows. Their tentacles curl like calligraphy strokes, their bodies sleek, their eyes enormous, designed not to see light, but to sense contrast, the faintest movement, the memory of a shape. They do not hunt with frenzy, they wait with certainty. When the whale and squid meet, the encounter is not chaos, but ritual, a matching of endurance, a conversation written in muscle and silence. Sometimes the whale prevails, sometimes the squid escapes, and sometimes both leave carrying marks of the other, scars like signatures of the deep. Nearby, fish with fangs longer than their skulls drift without urgency. Their bodies are transparent, organs visible, bones like threads. They look fragile, but fragility is a surface idea. Down here, fragility survives. They carry their own lanterns, lights dangling from their heads like offerings, not to illuminate their world, but to lure the world to them. The glow flickers like a heartbeat. Something follows. The seafloor rises and falls in ridges, hills and valleys shaped by tectonic breath. There are trenches here so deep, they feel like thoughts the planet does not speak aloud. Earthquakes tremble like distant memories. Volcanic seams pulse with heat. Each tremor sends particles drifting upward like dust shaken from an old book. The planet is alive beneath the water. The trench walls fall away into abysses that seem to descend forever, deeper than mountains are tall, deeper than memory can hold. This is the zone where pressure becomes an architecture of its own, holding everything in place like invisible pillars made of weight. Creatures here are built like secrets, soft-bodied, slow-moving, designed not for speed or sight, but for persistence. Their bones are reduced to threads or gone entirely. Their flesh is pliable, so pressure does not crush. It shapes. The water is so dense that movement feels like wading through night itself. Even predators move with deliberation, as if each strike must be calculated, each motion budgeted like a scarce resource. A snailfish drifts upward from the gravel, pale as moonlight, its body nearly translucent. It is fragile to look at, yet it thrives where steel would bend and shatter. It is not armored, but adapted. Not strong, but right. Down here, rightness is the highest form of survival. In the quiet, there are currents you cannot feel, only witness. Threads of warmer water weave through the cold, carrying nutrients from vents miles away. They do not roar like surface waves. They glide like thought. Some creatures track these ribbons through the dark, migrating not for season, but for chemistry. An isopod scuttles across the sediment, antennae tasting the water for change, searching for food, the way roots search for soil. At the deepest edges of the trench, there are pools, lakes beneath the ocean. Brine so dense, it settles into basins like underwater mercury. Shorelines form, rippling softly where saltwater meets saltier water. To cross them is to drown in liquid you cannot breathe, even if you breathe water. So creatures linger at the edges, harvesting what drifts too close. They treat the boundary like a horizon, a border between worlds nearly identical, yet lethally different. From far above, marine snow falls, flakes of dead plankton, shattered shells, the dissolved remains of once bright lives. It drifts like ash, like memory, like the slow language of decay. What falls here becomes food, what food here becomes life. The cycle is not fast, but it is complete. Even shadows find purpose. Sometimes a submersible descends, its lights piercing the black like artificial suns. Cameras blink, metal arms reach. The creatures do not flee, because there is nowhere deeper to go. Instead, they watch, eyes like polished gemstones reflecting the glow. They assess. They wait. The humans inside the machine marvel at life that should not exist, while the life outside wonders why anything would come so far from its own world just to look. A rumble moves through the trench, not sound, but vibration. The tectonic plates shift like continents turning in their sleep. The ground exhales heat and minerals. Bubbles rise like lost punctuation from the seafloor, whispering of mountains forming and mountains breaking beneath them. This is the Earth's heartbeat, slow and seismic. Every tremor is a reminder that the planet is alive, not only on its surface, but in its depths. Here, solitude is not loneliness, it is completion. Nothing competes for dominance. Everything competes for endurance. There is no crown here, no apex, no hierarchy. Only continuation. Only the agreement that survival is worth the effort. In this darkness, life is not accidental. It is inevitable. Deeper still, the ocean becomes a cathedral of pressure and silence, a place where the world feels paused between breaths. Nothing here is hurried. Even movement seems to drift rather than travel. Creatures hang in the water like suspended thoughts, their shapes softened by the dark, their intentions unreadable. The water is so still it feels like sleep, but sleep without dreaming. only presence, only continuation. Long-bodied fish with eyes like polished obsidian hover near outcrops of rock, their fins fluttering in delicate, careful motions. They do not flee when shadows pass. They simply tilt, adjust, observe. Down here, panic is costly. Stillness is survival. Their bodies ripple in slow waves, muscle and instinct working together with the precision of old mathematics. Far in the distance, something pulses. Soft, blue light, bright enough to define outlines but not reveal form. It flickers like a heartbeat at the edge of vision. Some deep creatures approach, drawn toward clarity. Others peel away, sensitive to anything outside pattern. They have learned that curiosity is not always reward. Sometimes it is introduction. Down here, introduction can be consequence. A Dumbo octopus drifts by, its fins like wings, moving without urgency. Its skin changes shades with each pulse of water: lavender, pearl, faint rose. It looks delicate, but delicacy is camouflage, not weakness. It lives not by fighting, but by fitting. It changes shape to pass through spaces that seem impossible. It curls into itself, like a closed flower when danger approaches, making a body small enough to be overlooked. Survival is an art form here. Along the rocky floor, white crabs gather near seams where mineral-rich water seeps from cracks. They are blind, not because they lost their sight, but because sight lost its meaning. Their claws move with almost ritual rhythm, scraping and feeding as though rewriting hunger into motion. The vent fields glow faintly with chemical reaction like candlelight under stone. Above, the faint echo of a whale song trembles through the water, so distant it feels like memory instead of sound. The note stretches, bends, reverberates, carrying through darkness like a slow turning of the world's hinge. The creatures here are not startled. They are accustomed to voices they will never meet. The whale speaks to space, not to audience. The deep receives the message without reply. The sediment on the seafloor is soft as sifted flour, layered with centuries of settling remains. Shell fragments, bones softened to chalk, the dust of plankton that lived in sunlight ages ago. Every footstep, every drag of fin or tail erases itself within minutes. Prints fade, tracks vanish. There are no permanent marks here. The deep does not keep scars, it only keeps memory. A translucent sea cucumber inches across the ground, mouth open like a soft bloom. It consumes the past, particles of what once lived, and turns them into fuel for what will live next. This is the economy of the abyss. Past becomes present, present becomes future, without ceremony. There is no grief, there is no fear, only conversion. Occasionally, small bursts of bioluminescent sparks appear, as if something unseen passed too quickly for definition. The light lingers like snow suspended in liquid night. The glow fades, the silence resumes. Down here, the extraordinary never announces itself. It arrives, happens, and recedes like breath. Far away in the kind of dark where imagination becomes compass, something stirs the water with mass that cannot be seen but must be felt. Not predator or prey, not myth or monster. Simply presence. A reminder that depth still holds secrets even from itself. In the deep ocean, existence does not shout. It whispers, and everything that hears it listens. Deeper currents drift like invisible roads through the dark, carrying larvae, spores, and the smallest fragments of life like passengers on a journey without maps. Creatures ride those currents not as travelers, but as invitations to possibility. Some will never reach land. They will live and die drifting. Yet there is no tragedy in their wandering. In the ocean, movement is purpose. In the dark, Direction is instinct. A transparent fish glides with fins like folded leaves, using only the slightest motions to steer itself across miles. Nothing chases it, nothing waits for it. Still it goes. Beds of manganese nodules scatter across the abyss like pebbles of another planet, glossy and round, grown from the slow chemistry of minerals layering over centuries. They look like they were placed by someone, arranged with intention, but the ocean does not decorate. It accumulates. Small starfish creep across them, leaving no footprints, only the faint disturbance of silt lifting gently into the water. If light existed here, it would glint. But light does not come, so the nodules shine only in imagination. There are underwater dunes sculpted from particles finer than any desert sand, shaped not by wind but by slow, insistent currents. They shift without sound, rippling like the memory of movement. A lone creature moves across them, body ribbon-like, eyes unblinking. Behind it, the sand lifts and falls again, erasing every trace. The ocean does not archive footsteps, it returns them to neutrality, as the gentle ocean waves continue to whisper softly in the distance. Feel your mind completely quiet now, your body heavy and still, drifting deeper into the calm blue depths. The ocean has shared its serene secrets tonight, and now it cradles you peacefully, just as it cradles all life. You are safe. You are calm. You are ready for deep, restorative sleep. Let go completely. Breathe one last slow breath and allow sleep to take you gently. Good night, dear listener. Sleep deeply beneath the waves. Sweet dreams.